Thank you for letting me know. Okay. So we have Pedro, Eugenio, Torres versus Matias, Matricardi. Both very accomplished players here. Lugia versus Gardy. I'd say Gardevoir is like definitely significantly favored here. Uh, Lugia can win. You know, we've already see that like Pedro has a very strong start. Gonna be able to get the torrential pump off, take 2 prize cards, and then go into like Iron Hands. Or he has Minccino to threaten a one shot on Gardevoir with that. Um, but generally speaking, like the 1 prize nature of Gardevoir, plus the heavy disruption, the ability to play around things like Gift and Legacy Energy with Munkidori, or by like just Screamtailing bench Pokemon. Screamtail very good for like picking off Archeops especially. Just a lot of ways for Gardy to take the lead in the prize trade in this matchup. But you gotta favor your position here as Pedro with the turn 2 Torrential Pump. Especially under Klefki, which obviously Gardevoir very lucky to open Klefki against Lugia. But did not end up paying dividends here because Pedro was able to easily get those Archeops in the Zero pile without any use of Lumineon. Arvin comes down here for Matias. Eyeing up that secret box. That'll get him off to the races here. Maybe even go for Rare Candy this turn and can get this Ralts evolved. Although you don't necessarily need to, right? You can always just evolve the Kirlia into a Gardevoir and then the active into a Kirlia. And get your Gardevoir Kirlia out that way. Looks like we're eyeing up the Iono for some Essential Disruption. Ultra Ball, probably gonna just want to guarantee that Gardevoir EX. Bravery Charm. Looks like just those 3 here. Gonna get rid of the Bravery Charm and the Super Rod. So that's 2 Bravery Charm down already. And a Super Rod. Now I guess on the Gardevoir. He Secret Box away a counter catcher there. I imagine he probably wants to bring up Archeops and just pick that off. Oh, just a pass. He doesn't have the energy. The Secret Box not doing a whole lot there. Gotta imagine that would have been better as an unfair stamp in that spot. Looks like Pedro's lining up this Minccino. If he can knock out the Gardevoir here, it's just kind of over. Might even see Matias just... Because, like, I mean, Gardevoir can take a long time, right? So, don't want to tie games. Matias might just scoop it up if the Minccino knocks out the Gardevoir here. Primal Turbo number 1, Primal Turbo number 2. Jet Energy. Jet Energy, there it is. Minccino comes up. Luminate on. Interestingly, Matias did discard Spiritomb with Secret Box there, so you could have benched that just to keep Lumineon from coming down, but opted to just use that as one of his Secret Box discards, and then just sort of pass after that. So I don't know, it was definitely not worth it, Arvin for Secret Box there, right? Like, you just Arvin for Ultra Ball instead, and then you can keep the Spiritomb. Because, I mean, all he grabbed was Iono. I guess he wanted the Iono for next turn. Maybe even just grab another Kirlia at that point instead of grabbing Secret Box and then grabbing Gardevoir. He needed to do something. And clearly what he did was not enough. Mulligan. Let's get started here. Okay, got a basic. Okay, Raikou start for Pedro. Definitely not a great starter. Pretty useless in this matchup. Pretty easy 2 prize cards as well. Can pick that off with Bravery Charm Screamtail. See a Nest Ball. I think Munkidori start, I believe, from Matias. The glare is still pretty bad on the active spot of the player on the left, like it was yesterday. Grabbing the Ninja. That a Vessel? Yeah. So we're going to grab a couple more Psychic, and then go for the Concealed. Hopefully can find a Poffin, get a much more Ralts down. I assume he's probably already got a way to find at least one Ralt if he's Nest Balling Vigor Ninja, but maybe his hand's just that dead. There's a Ralt. I see a Kirlia in hand. So yeah, it looks like he was just... His hand's probably dead, and he probably was like, I can't just Nest Ball for a Ralt. I need more than that. So I'll just conceal the cards and hope for the best. And he got a Ralt, so it all worked out. I mean, at least he can get some more into his pile, draw some more cards, use concealed cards again next turn to try to find Sporter. He's got the Kirlia now, so he can Refinement next turn as well. Pedro able to get a heads on that first Aroma. I don't know if that's what he wanted here, but can't hurt to get your Archeops. Let's take a look at that hand. Another Aroma, another heads. I feel Luminion at the very least, so we should at least be able to see like Lumin for research to get those Archeops in the discard pile. Yep, grabbing the Archeops. Yep, gonna fish out that research. Discard those Archeops. Oh, bench the Iron Hands. Definitely need that in this matchup, but the bench is getting pretty full. Jet energy for the Iron Hands is pretty nice. Get it up in the active without having to retreat. I didn't necessarily see everything that went down there, but didn't look like anything too important. Nest Ball. Got that Lugia down. And then, obviously, probably just going to pass. Don't want to put anything else down. Need those bench spots for Archeops now. Something underrated for Lugia's position in the format is honestly that so many decks don't play Collapse Stadium anymore. Like a lot of Charizard lists cutting it, Gardevoir lists not playing it like they once did. And the fact that like there aren't really any decks playing Collapse Stadium, or like opposing Lugia's playing Collapse Stadium, means that you don't have to worry as much about like benching Pokemon on your opponent collapsing and bench locking you. Whereas that was once a pretty noticeable annoyance for Lugia. You couldn't fill up that many bench spots early game. Hey Callie, how's it going? I saw you hit Charizard last round. That's tough. I modded you. You're a mod now, and an editor. Hopefully you can still top 16. Yeah, that'd be good. At least Mayday too. Either way. Doing versus Adon was rough, but whatever. Just need to practice more. Yeah, I mean, it happens. I just gotta, you know, learn from it. Play better going forward. What can you do? Sometimes you don't play optimally. I threw a game yesterday, for sure. Pedro does not have really any good options right now. Doesn't have a boss. Has no way to knock out this Gardevoir. Bench locked. Looks like he's lining up the Aqua Return. He must have a Jet Energy in hand. Obviously, he's not just going to retreat this Iron Hands for 4 energy. Or, oh, is he going to retreat this Iron Hands for 4 energy? Oh my god. Holy. Okay, that's not good. Yeah, this is such a bad position for Pedro now. He's going to get to, I mean, soften up this Gardevoir. I mean, Matias doesn't have much of a bench going, right? So, like, that's what Pedro has going for him. But this Iron Hand's heavily damaged, has not taken a single prize card yet. Not bench locked now, but you don't want Gardevoir to be taking a 2 prize lead against you when you're Lugia versus Gardevoir. Matias could even get a second Munkidori down, heal 60 damage off that Gardevoir, which would put it down to what? Put it down to 90. Serendipity coming down so that Matias doesn't have to worry too much about just sort of not having a response next turn. And Matias is playing a Temple, so you've got to imagine, I mean, Gardevoir already pretty favored, but with Temple, very, very favorable matchup for Gardevoir. And especially right now, that Temple coming down, Pedro already in such a bad spot. Cannot be happy to see that. The Scream Tail, oh, yeah, and this is even worse, right? So this Iron Hands, Pedro went through all the effort of retreating it for 4 energy last turn, and Matias isn't even going to bother knocking it out. He's just going to go ahead and snipe around this, start picking off these Archeops. Now Iron Hands, I mean, is going to struggle to even do anything meaningful this turn, even if Pedro has the boss. And now even if Pedro knocks out the Gardevoir, it's like, okay, well, that's certainly good, but Matias is just going to go ahead and pick off that Archeops now. With the Scream Tail. Doesn't need the Gardevoir to stay in play in order for him to keep attacking. Ultra Ball, grab the Squawk just to thin it out. Ultra Ball away Boss Lumen feels pretty tough. I don't know what he was looking for there, that he felt like it was worth discarding. Oh, he's going to research anyways. That's fair. Found a Jet Energy. He could knock out the Scream Tail with Minchino's first attack. It looks like he's going to go for the Amp. Get 2 prize cards. Yeah, Mesagoza, fish out the Lugia. So, I mean, he's going to take 2 prize cards here, and then he can take 2 prize cards on Gardevoir next turn. And then, well, no, he can't even, because the, this Iron Hands has 220 on it, so Munkidori will kill it, and then another Scream Tail could just knock out the Archeops, and then Pedro won't have any energy in play. And at that point, you gotta imagine it's just completely game over. Ultra Ball, discarding Curlia, and research. Find another Ralts. Doesn't hurt. So yeah, Matias, you just want to find a way to get the Scream Tail back here, and then you can go ahead and knock out that Archeops on the bench. Get Iono. Nice hand of 5. Matias. Flip the script. Mesagoza hasn't been used yet, so he finds a Super Rod. He has that as a potential way to search out the Scream Tail. Oh, there's the Counter Catcher. Okay, so I mean, that works too, right? Just Counter Catcher the Archeops. And then we can just knock it out with Drifloon. Yep, there's the Adrenabrain. Gonna heal off the Gardevoir, knock out the Iron Hands. And then here we're gonna see the Munkidori retreat. Bring up Drifloon, and use Drifloon to knock out Archeops. And I mean, as Pedro, what's your line here? I guess, you can Blood Moon. Chinchino can knock out this Drifloon with a DTE, so at least you can get 1 prize that way. But okay, Blood Moon comes up with the Jet Energy, boss the Pheasant, or boss the Gardevoir. So, hopefully dodging. Okay, so Pedro does have a real line here, right? Like, if he can bring the Blood Moon back to the bench and reset the attack next turn and then boss the Pheasantipity, then he has game. But he needs Matias not to win here. And if Matias has, like, Rare Candy, then I should be able to knock out this Blood Moon. Poffin for the Spiritomb to shut off the Lumineon, because he knows that Pedro is potentially a Jet Energy and a boss away from the game, which, not very likely, but it's possible. It's not over. Concealed. Draw a couple more cards. Now, we haven't seen a Rare Candy yet, so I don't know if Matias even plays Rare Candy. I assume he does if he's playing the Seeker Box build of the deck, but... Oh, hi, Saturn. Saturn's in my lap, and they seem to be waking up. Big yawn. Okay, Bravery Trump coming down the Pheasantipity, so that will protect it from that Blood Moon play that I was talking about. So it doesn't have to worry about that anymore. In all the games, we saw Pedro on stream yesterday too. I didn't see any jamming towers. I don't think. There might have been a jamming tower. No, I think the jamming tower was from the Rich Drago player that he was playing against. I don't think he plays jamming towers, so that Pheasantipity should be safe. Iono, gonna soften up the Blood Moon with Munkidori, and then smack it with the Drifloon. Did Iono Pedro as well, so it'd be extra difficult for him to hit Jet Boss. Looks like he doesn't have it, just gonna research. Looking at his hand, I mean, you gotta imagine, there's a good chance we just see him scoop up his cards right now. What are the odds he found a way to survive Matias' next turn? Tying up Ultra Ball, Mr. goes to Tails. I don't even see a double Turbo Energy, which is what he would need to retreat the Blood Moon, right? So, Alright, game 3. That was a pretty one-sided game 2. I mean, Pedro made it as close as he could, for sure. But, there was... Every turn that Matias ended, it felt like he had done everything that he needed to do to maintain his position. The bare minimum, at least. Okay, here we go. Minccino start, Ralt start. Got an Aroma Tails to get that Lugia down for Pedro. And he is going first this game, which offers lots of its own advantages, like the Wellspring play that we saw game 1. We are back. Okay. Here we go. Let's press play on this. And let's get right back to it. Squawk for Pedro discards an Iono, and it looks like one Archeops did hit the discard pile. Pedro definitely going to be looking to try to go for a turn 2 Wellspring like he got game 1. And that seemed to be the winning play. Good start from Matias. Spiritomb, double Ralts. Love to see the Spiritomb come down this time. Definitely key card against Lugia. Key card in general, very good in the current metagame. Especially in deck like Gardevoir, which really would love to be slowing the opponent down a little bit. See the Vessel. Just want to make sure. I'm going to check, make sure we're actually back here. Yeah, we're good. Alright, so Matias has pretty optimal... didn't hit the Evo, actually. I was going to say pretty optimal turn 1, but no Evo. Temple, I mean, going to hopefully stop a potential Wellspring or Iron Hands play. But we'll see. I mean, Pedro's still going to get a turn 2 knockout here with the Lugia. Protect that Cinccino, bring it to the bench. Get rid of the Temple with Tempest Dive. And on Matias' side, there's no Curlias yet, so. But Matias got a Curly down, got the Refinement. Okay, and he does play Rare Candy. We didn't see any game 1 or 2, but finally the Rare Candy coming down. Counter Catcher, bring that Archeops up. And definitely very strong turn 2 for Matias, right back at Pedro's strong turn 2. Now that Temple's gone, but there's only one Archeops left, so Pedro going to be on the back foot. And I mean, if he wants to take a 2-price turn here, he's going to need to hit a boss, because Chinchino's not going to be able to do enough damage to knock out the Gardevoir. So you would need to Iron Hands. And then at that point, the second Archeops is going to go down. And Pedro is definitely largely on the back foot this game. Eyeing up that Ogre Pawn. Gonna retreat. Is he just going to Torrential Pump, pick off the Curly on the bench? Yeah, okay. So, I mean, it sets the Gardevoir up to be in knock range of Tempest Dive at least. The Wellspring does lose the energy, so it could just kind of get stuck here. It looks like probably even just going to get knocked out by Drifloon. Put Matias down to 3 prize cards that way. We'll see if he goes for the Archeops. I would definitely like to see him go for the Archeops, because that means that Pedro's only real attackers left for the game are Lugia and Blood Moon. But it looks like he didn't have the counter catcher or the boss, so we're just going to see the Wellspring go down. Matias go down to 3 prize cards. Still a very good spot for him. But it does mean that Pedro, we could see take another 2 prize turn here with Iron Hands, and then maybe go for like a Blood Moon or Tempest Dive knockout on that Gardevoir. Yeah, he's going to bench the Iron Hands and get it set up right away, just in case the Archeops goes down. And then hopefully he has the boss. No boss, so he's just going to have to amp. But still very, very realistic line for him to win the game by just Tempest Diving the Gardevoir. Deus probably would like to knock out his Iron Hands just to limit Pedro's options. Can he heal this Gardevoir out of Tempest Dive range maybe? Because Pedro's doing 220 plus 120 is 340. So no, he can't get. I mean, he can't get 2 Munkadoris out. He probably doesn't even play 2 Munkadori, because this list typically doesn't with the Secret Box and the Rare Candies. Typically just the 1. And I think his Temple's already gone, so he can't really knock out his Iron Hand. So he might just be having to hope that Pedro doesn't have Boss off an Iono, which, not a terrible spot to be in. I mean, you have Spiritomb, I think. You think he has Spiritomb down? So he's shutting off Lumineon. So he doesn't have to worry about like an Ultra Ball or Lumineon being outs to Boss, but Boss could still be found off of an Iono too, right? Heads on the Ultra Ball to grab the Scream Tail. Or heads on the Mace Goza, sorry. Not heads on Ultra Ball. Concealed cards. Benching the Scream Tail. Debating that one. Can he get the... What's his line here? Can he, if he with the Bravery Charm, he can pick off the Iron Hands, right? One puts this up to 120, 240 damage. Knock out the Iron Hands for 1 prize card. Goes down to 2, and then just needs to knock out the Squawkabilly for game next turn. We'll see if Pedro. Oh, the Turo came down on the Gardevoir. So Turo coming down Gardevoir and the hands going down means that Pedro cannot win this turn. So Legacy Energy's down. He cannot Torrential Pump again. So it's just going to come down to whether or not Matias can find the boss for game next turn. Just a Bany Machine, another Machino. Doesn't really matter too much here. Ultimately, it's just gonna come down to whether or not Matias has boss next turn. Gonna set up this Chinchino to attack, most likely. Ideally. Puts 2 energy on the Squawk. So maybe he just has to Yeah, retreated Gino, slap it. And this was the last turn of time, actually. But it looks like Matias flashes the boss, and Pedro, I think, probably gives it to him because Matias has the boss. But well, I mean, maybe they just tied. But Matias definitely had the set there with the boss in hand. All right, let's skip through to round 10 now. Try to get to the beginning here. There we go. So we got Justin Hoy versus Yerco Valencia. Yerco playing Lugia, deck that he top-aided Louisville Regionals with, so definitely a very experienced Lugia player. Justin Hoy, on the other hand, playing Miraidon, so he's got to be liking that he's sitting down across from Lugia here. Not a free matchup for Lugia by any means, not a free matchup for Miraidon by any means, but definitely very favorable, of course. And Justin Hoy even playing the Area 0 build of Miraidon here. We haven't seen Miraidon a whole lot in Stellar Crown format yet. I've already started to see it a little bit more in Surging Sparks format now that we have the Magneton slight buff to the deck. I'm not a huge fan of Magneton, but it looks like, I mean, just a 1-1 Magneton that I've seen in lists isn't too bad. Definitely solid option. But Stellar Crown format, Miraidon we have not seen a whole lot of. But I do like this Area 0 build of the deck. It definitely is strong. It's very consistent. And I do believe Justin Hoy is playing at least 2 copies of Pokemon Go Zapdos. So he can actually increase Amp Very Much to 140 damage, which means Amp Very Much can one-shot a Lugia V-Star for 3 prize cards, which could be very relevant in this matchup. See the generator come down. 1 energy. Get some energy on the hands. Ideally, if you can just amp twice for 6 prize cards, that's obviously always going to be the best option he's got. Restart another electric generator. Alright, 2 energy this time. He's thinking about it while he shuffles up. I assume at least one of them is going to go on the hands. Oh, no, both on the Raikou. Interesting. I think at least one of them should have gone on the hands. Okay, or he has 2 on it. He must have had a 3rd generator. Or no, just that for turn was on the hands. Yeah, so generator, 1 energy on the hands, generator, 2 energy on a Raikou. Then attack for turn Iron Hands. Now he does need double turbo energy, though. He might already have it, but kind of feel like maybe just in case you get like I know to miss a DT, could be good to just put the 3rd energy on the hands to be safe. If he plays 2 Iron Hands, I probably would have liked to see him try to set up both, but one also might have been prized. Jock. Just prize checking quick here. I think it's Machino is at the front. Going to Jock for double chops. Alright, Ultra Ball comes down. Grab another Lugia probably. Just to make sure that he doesn't get his only Lugia knocked out. Just debating. Just reviewing the hand. I saw Jet Energy, maybe a Nest Ball. Really eyeing up that Minchino. The Call for Family Minchino looks like that is, which should be pretty strong if he goes for... Yeah, it looks like that's what he's going to do. He's going to Ultra Ball for Minchino, Jet Energy that up, Call for Family for Lugia and another Minchino. Haven't seen people playing the Call for Family Minchino in a while. Just because of Phantom Dive. I think if you're playing a 3-3 Chinchino line, then 270 HP, 160 HP makes sense. You know, in your Phantom Dive matchups, if you can just go ahead and set up the 70 HP Minchinos instead. and not bother with the CCP Minccino. But then having that Call for Family option is obviously a nice consistency boost still. So, okay, Justin Hoy does have the DT. Can slap that down in the Iron Hands right away. Now, does he have the Gust, though, to pull up one of these Lugias? Because, I mean, Amp for 2, obviously, not bad. He's still taking the first 2 prize cards, still taking the lead, but it means he is going to need to find back-to-back bosses orders, probably, to win this game. And at least one more energy off an electric generator, I think. No, I guess he can just attach Raikou next turn, take a knockout, attach Raikou again the following turn. If a Legacy energy comes down on one of these Lugias, though, after Justin Hoy takes his first Lugia knockout, that could be a problem if Justin doesn't have access to another Iron Hands. So, honestly, I could see a way that Yerco can just sort of checkmate Justin Hoy out of the game here with the Legacy energy on one of the Lugias. Yep, and then comes the Chinchino knockout. So Justin just needs to bring up one of these Lugias on the bench and then attach to his bench Raikou. And that's all he really needs to do this turn. If he has an Iron Hand still in deck, I gotta assume one is probably prize. If he does have access to another one, he's gotta try to start getting that powered up. Though honestly, even if he started powering it up now, it could always get bossed, right? So switch card just to thin the hand before restart. Draws a bunch of energy off that restart and flip the script. Like, just a ton of energy. I don't even think we have a Gust here. Okay, we have the Stone. So we're going to Stone for the Arven he's eyeing up here, it looks like. Not boss. Maybe he doesn't have access to a boss. Oh, he's going to use Iron Bundle. Bring up... Oh, this is not good. I mean... 10 minute for the Iron Hands. Okay, so he's going for an Amp. Does not have access to a boss, I guess. He did have the hands. Oh, accidentally double attached there because he already attached once to the Raikou. I think the judge was telling him, oh, like, you already discarded the energy, so you already started retreating, so that you have to retreat. And in which case, Justin just scoops. He goes, I can't win this. I don't think he could have won it anyways, even if he was arm pressing there. I don't know why he was going for an arm press play when he could have just knocked it out with Raikou. I guess, no, because Chino was on the bench, so it's not like Iron Hands would have survived a special roll. I think it was probably done either way there anyways, but there's still I think, like, you definitely don't want to attack with hands there, right? Because you need a hands next turn. Amp you very much the Lugia for 3 prize cards if you're only going to take 1 prize turn this turn. The hands only works if you amp on the 1 prizer. Because otherwise the Legacy energy just walks you out of the game. Great ball. Look like Justin opted to go second this game, which makes sense. He can go ahead and get a turn 1 attack off. Puts on a ton of aggression that way. Oh, and Yerko just has attached Lugia pass. Whiffs the Great Ball. So we'll see. Justin probably going to try to go for the Donk here. We see debating the tandem unit. Not totally sure what he wants to grab yet. Looks like Raikou Zapdos. Makes sense. Gets the Arvin. Gonna grab Secret Box. Probably Stone. I mean, he just wants to maximize the chances of winning on the spot here, right? There's the Secret Box. He's already selected his 3 cards to dump. So saw the Iron Hands go down there, so that could be relevant if he doesn't get the donk here. It's the Area 0 Rescue Board Nest Ball. Probably Nest Ball for the Squawkabilly. And Arvin. Area 0. Throw down Mewtwo. Nest Ball. Squawkabilly. Okay. Rescue Board. Force Seal Stone. Electric Generator. Fails the Electric Generator. He just needs 1 energy off of an Electric Generator to win. And an attached return, obviously. There's the attached return. Gonna Squawk and Seize first. Try to draw some Electric Generators off the Squawk before he uses Stone for 1. There's the Generator. Boom. There's the Lightning Energy. If that's a donk, we're going to a game 3. Nice and quick. Game 2. Okay, this was a down pair. Justin is 702, whereas Yerco is 603. So Justin looking at, trying to lock this one up to secure him a spot in top 8. Which is I think there's only 2 rounds of Swiss, so I believe this is a win-in for Justin. Probably a win-in for Yerco as well. I'm not sure what the cutoff was for asymmetric cut. Iron Bundle open for Justin. Lugia open for Yerco. Oh, look at Yerco decided to go first. Or no, he did decide to go second. Okay. I mean, I think that makes sense. You want to be able to play a supporter on your first turn against Miraidon. That way you can try to get your whatever's the biggest liability out of the active spot. You don't want to play 2 supporters after your opponent's, by the time you need to respond to an Iron Hands. If you go first, stuff like that, game 2 can happen where you just Lugia, attach, pass, and Miraidon just goes, okay, turn 1, easy knockout. Okay, we got the double energy off the Electric Generator onto that Iron Hands. Already a strong start for Justin. Eyeing up attaching that 3rd energy here. And then probably just pass because he's got full bench. One of them is the Mewtwo, so if he finds Area 0, he can increase the bench a little bit. But for now, not going to be the case. Okay, but does find another Lugia. So not going to see a donk, that's for sure. Aroma heads. Probably going to grab a Chops.
Special delivery.
Thank you. Saturn is here. You ready to eat? Yeah. No.
He changed their mind.
Alright, so we just see a really win. Get out of Archeops. Arvin grabbing Stone. So now Justin can go ahead and get that 3 prize Impy very much off. He wasn't able to do that game 1. The most important thing for him right now is that he gets a second Iron Hand set up so that he can amp again for another 3 prize cards. Just keep the game nice and short here. Not have to worry about the legacy energy. Obviously, I mean, it could still come out to protect Yerco next turn, but I mean, it's not as effective if Justin can just go amp 2 turns in a row here. Puts Yerco on a much shorter clock, of course. So Yerco will have to have a lot to have a strong response to that sort of aggression. have to have much stronger draws overall. Sugar comes down. Thank you very much. I'm not going to overextend here. Going to save the V-Star power to help get the Iron Hands online next turn. And there is an energy on the Raikou now, I do believe, so it'll be able to easily, you know, come up, fleet-footed, retreat into the Iron Hands for the next attack. You're immediately going to evolve that Lugia into a V-Star. Just needs to get another Archeops in the discard pile. Saturn is staring at me. I feel like they think I'm talking to them. Iono. But what does Yerco need to do here? I mean, he needs to knock an Iron Hands. I don't think he can. I don't think he has got a way to do that. I mean, he can Blood Moon, right? He can Blood Moon the Iron Hands. So he needs the Blood Moon here. I think that's the best play he can muster up. Yep, there it is. I think he's only got access to one Archeops, though. He's thinking. Gift Energy onto the Lugia. Summoning Star for one Archeops. Yeah. Which means we can't even see a Blood Moon. We would need to see a Jet Energy in order for him to Blood Moon with only one Archeops in play. See the Minccino come down, though. And Lugia's just going to get set up and smack the Iron Hands for 200. I think that's what we're seeing here. Yep. Boom, 200. So the Iron Hands isn't even going to go down. Justin immediately, I think knows. I think he's got the game. He's gonna stone for the Secret Box. Boom, grab the Area 0, use Miraidon, grab double Zapdos, and that'll be 140 damage with Thank you very much. 280 with weakness for another 3 prize cards on Lugia. And a nice easy 3/3 for Miraidon. So let's see. I don't know. I think there was only 2 rounds with a number of players before top cut. So I think next round should be heading into the asymmetric top cut. Let's see here. Yeah. So we have Nico Galaz versus Tim Franklin from Australia. I think Justin was also from Australia, so a few Australian players here this weekend. Tim is playing Terapagos, I believe, whereas Nicolas Galaz is playing Palkia Terapagos, the list with Jet Energies, Volbeat, and Illumise. Oh, where did the game go? There we go. I'm just going to check on my student Camille and see if he's made top cut in seniors. He is 302 currently. Did he win? He was playing against Gabriel Fernandez this round. I think he won. I think he's 402. We'll see. Nice fan Rotom start for Nico. Gonna go ahead and get down double Hoot Hoot, triple Hoot Hoot with the Noctowl in hand. Toss a Water Energy onto the Rotom. I mean, don't mind too much that you didn't get a Palkia down here. It would definitely be ideal to get a Palkia down to threaten Moonlight Shuriken. Honestly, it's a pretty big deal. But, like, at least you can still attack with Terapagos next turn. It's not like a normal Palkia deck where if you don't get Palkia down turn 1, you don't really have any attacking options for turn 2. Just gonna see if I can check the pairings here to see if Camille beat Gabriel. Tim had the Buddy Poffin. He's playing the Boufflant build. I mean, it could be kind of relevant against Palkia, but I think both benches will be too big for it to really matter too much. Palkia should be able to pretty easily one shot everything Tim has. And although Terapagos can, with double water energy or water jet, one shot opposing Terapagos, whereas Tim cannot one shot Nicolas's Terapagos without Vitality Band. But the Boufflant will sort of even things out a little bit more here. Looks like Tim is going to go ahead and get that second Boufflant down, as well as a Hoot Hoot, with and a Noctowl to hand. Start getting that bench set up. Has the Pidgey as well. Probably just going to hold the Boufflant. Yep, has the Terapagos even, so just going to go ahead and get that down with the DT now. Not too worried about it getting knocked out, since Nicolas didn't get a Palkia down turn 1. It'll be pretty... You can knock it out with a Terapagos, potentially, but not very likely. Yeah, it looks like the seniors are in round 7, so I'm just going to see if I can check on Camille's game here. Camille's 3-1-2. Unfortunately, lost to Gabriel Fernandez. Okay, so Nicolas is going to boss the Pidgey and just take the knockout with Rotom. So, I mean, probably doesn't have a way to get Palkia down here. Otherwise, I imagine we'd see it come down. But maybe he's just trying to play like the single prize board here. I don't see a whole lot going on in his hand. So he'll just going after the Pidgey to try to disrupt Tim a bit in hopes that... Oh, Sneezy over here. In hopes that will slow Tim down. Turn my mic volume up a little bit here. No, Tim's just going to take the nice easy prize on that Rotom. Yeah, so Nicolas, I mean, can get a knockout here, right? It's Terapagos, Glass Trumpet, Jet Energy would let him take the 2 prize knock on Terapagos, but I think he'd be fine with even just taking a 1 prizer here, as long as he, you know, is able to get an attack off. Definitely cannot afford to not get a knockout at all this turn. There's the Trumpet and a Nest Ball. And a Nest Ball for the Fez. He's got the Prime Catcher, so he just needs... and he's got the Trumpet, so he just needs another energy. He's got to have... Is it no energy in? There's no way. He's got Noctowl, so he should at least be able to find like a Vessel or something. Eyeing up the Greninja. What else he got? Nest Ball. Oh yeah, I do see an energy. So he's just going to go for double Nest Ball. Get another Palkia and a Greninja. Going to conceal to make sure that he can get the most use as possible out of this Trumpet. I think he might have already had a couple of water energy in the discard pile anyways, but still want to get those more energy in the discard pile for Moonlight Shirt, or Star Portal. Puts an energy on the Noctowl, so I don't know if maybe he plays actually, the Noctowl does 60, right? So I think I would have liked to see him knock out the Pidgey with Noctowl instead of the Terapagos. If he's going to throw the energy on there anyways. Don't put the Terapagos in harm's way. Maybe he's thinking Tim is going to have a hard time knocking out the Terapagos anyways. Counting on Tim not playing Vitality Band. Nicolas does have the prize lead, so Tim's going to be counting on either Dusknoir or Briar to sort of get that extra prize card mixed in there for him. Shouldn't be too difficult, though. I think that Tim definitely has a significant advantage because of the Dusknoirs. At least in the case that Nicolas doesn't get, like, turn 2 Moonlight Shuriken, which can obviously be very strong against Terapagos here. But he did not get that this game, so Tim should just have, like, a pretty significant edge. Thornton Counter Catcher for Tim. Gonna Thornton the Pidgey into play. Go ahead and get that Pidgeot out. Nest Ball. What's he gonna eye up here? Pheasantipity, maybe? Is that what he moves to the front? Can't super make out what those cards are. Look at he's eyeing up the Fez there. Is that a Regidrago V? I think that might have been a Regidrago V. Maybe playing a 1/1 Drago for the for Legacy Star. I have seen that here and there. I know Pokeduels is playing the 1/1 Drago in Terapagos, but can't say that I'm the biggest fan of it. I think that's what we saw there, but I could be wrong. Might not have been a Drago. I think that is a Drago. It is. So he is playing the 1/1 Regidrago V-Star just for Legacy Star to get recover a couple pieces, checkmate his opponents that way. I mean, maybe it could be really strong. Just gonna counter catcher up that Palkia, so you can still take a 2 prize card turn. Go down to 3 prize cards. Prize counter is wrong there. They only took it down to 4 prizes. Should be at 3. And I don't think really Nicolas has anything he can do to stop Tim from winning next turn. Like, Tim just goes either Dusknoir or Briar, and then attack with Blood Moon or Terapagos. Should be able to easily win this game. And yeah, I don't think there's anything that any options in Nicolas's deck that can play around Briar or Dusknoir. He just sort of has to play it like an Iono or something like that, and hope that Tim doesn't have it. But with Pheasantipity, a potential Regidrago V-Star for Legacy Star, should be absolutely no problem for Tim to find what he needs here. Getting rid of the Area 0 could help, limit Tim's options a little bit. Force the Boufflant out of here. Force Tim to find... I mean, he doesn't necessarily even need to find a full bench. He can just attack with Blood Moon if he has that. Tim, I think, even has a Prime Catcher there. So if we don't see an Iono, I think Tim just has all the options of the world in hand, it looks like. Nicolas is going to attach turn to the Palkia. Okay, he does have the Iono. Tim is just going to make sure he knows what he's putting to the bottom. That way he can optimally sequence whether or not he wants to play something to move those cards back to shuffle the deck and mix them back up. But it looks like Terapagos is just going to get knocked out here. Pidgeot going to come up for their free retreat. And Tim he needs to get a Gust again, and then he needs to use Dusknoir. Or he can get full bench Briar Terapagos and knock out the Pheasantipity. Those are his options here. Just going to research. Kind of makes sense. I mean, if he doesn't have anything else really. What do we see here? Nest Ball, another Rare Candy. Gonna play the Nest Ball. Looks like you just sort of figuring this out. He knew the Prime Catcher was on the bottom from the Iono, so just gonna use the Nest Ball to shuffle up before using something like Pheasantipity. Regidrago should definitely help him get there here, if he can find that. 2, 3 off the Fez. Quick search. Yep, gonna quick search for the Regidrago V-Star. I see a Night Stretcher. The Candy will be an important piece to get that Dusknoir going. He's got the Counter Catcher in his pile, so we can Legacy Star for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6, 7. I think he's already got it, based on the fact that he's just going for this. Ultra Ball, Dusknoir, Rare Candy, Dusknoir, Blood Moon. Knockout Hoot Hoot, Prime Catcher. Yeah, Blood Moon the Fez. there it is. Legacy Star. Coming in clutch there. Getting the last couple pieces that Tim needed to win the game. Let's see if we can skip past the shuffling here. Alright, here we go. Earthen Vessel. Terapagos start, definitely solid. Makes easy turn 2 attack that way. But he would obviously like to Moonlight Shuriken turn 2, ideally. Prize checking quick here. Yeah, no Rotom for Nicolas this time, so no turn 1 Hoot-Hoots is pretty rough. No Ninja either. Gotta imagine it's gonna be pretty tough for him to get turn 2 Moonlight Shuriken under these circumstances. Especially since the Terapagos has 2 retreat, he'll have to attach to it again to get the Greninja to the bench. Maybe even, I mean, he could jet the Ninja up. That could help, but they need to find a way to get the that energy in the discard pile as well. Maybe you see a Duskull here for Tim. He's already got the Area 0 in play, so lots of bench space to fill up. See, double Boufflant, maybe? Is that a Grass Energy? Oh, no, it's Pidgey. I was going to say, there's no way he plays a way to attack with a Drago. Pidgey. Debating here. I think Pidgey Hoot-Hoot Noctowl makes the most sense. Oh, gonna get the boof. Go for the boofs. Try to deny a 2-prize knockout from Terapagos. I mean, with Nicolas only having 1 bench Pokemon, and no Hoot-Hoots, gotta imagine that's not too much of a concern, but just playing it safe, I guess, with the boofs. Maybe he's going, I think your hand's so bad that you're not even going to knock out this Hoot-Hoot if I bench a boof. But Illumise and Pheasantipity coming down for Nicolas. Attachment to the Terapagos. Poffin for a couple Hoot-Hoots. Nest Ball. Get another Palkia down. And then is certainly going to be able to knock out a Hoot-Hoot. There you go. 1 prize. Pidgeot comes up from Franklin, which, if Pidgey comes up, that almost definitely means that he has Rare Candy Pidgeot already to give it the free retreat. Fez. Tim would obviously ideally like to get Counter Catcher knockout on one of these Palkias, or maybe even just the Fez. He's got Regen Dusknoir, so that gives him some more options too. Gonna bench the Hoot-Hoot. Thinking about benching the Blood Moon with the double Turbo Energy now. Yeah, so he's got full bench now. I see the Prime Catcher in hand, so he definitely has knockout on Palkia, or Fez if he wants it. I think going for Fez makes more sense here with 2 Palkia already down anyways. Nicolas only really needs 1, so Nicolas only benched 2 to make sure that he'd have 1 next turn, but he certainly doesn't need both, so. Oh, it is going to go for the Palkia. I think I would have liked to go for the Fez. But I guess you have an easier prize map here if you go for the Palkia now, right? Because then you can just knock out Terapagos and Fez for your other... Yeah, no, that makes sense. Because otherwise, if you go for the Fez, both Palkias can evolve, and then can't take an easy knockout on either. Since Terapagos is damage output. Doesn't really allow it to ever one-shot a Palkia, that's for sure. So, just picking off the Palkia now, before they can both evolve, that way he can just take his last prizes on Festivity and Terapagos. Doesn't have to rely on Dusknoir or Briar. And, I mean, puts him in a pretty highly favorable spot. I don't think there's really... Once again, like last game, without the turn 2 Moonlight Shuriken, Nicolas doesn't really have a way to offset the prize trade here. Like, Tim takes his first 2 prize cards. He's going to take the next 2 prize cards. Can just easily go 2-2-2. Whereas Nicolas, you know, just is always going to be behind that 1 prize. Since he started with only a 1 prize knockout. Nicolas was able to get the... And he vacuumed away the area 0. That way he could discard the Fezandipity. So that is how he can fix his prize map. Or, not necessarily fix his prize map, but ruin Tim's prize map. So now Tim will have to rely on things like Briar and Dusknoir here. But he could just win this turn, right? With, if he does get... Or no, because the, there's nothing that he can one-shot with Terapagos unless he plays Vitality Band. He would need double Dusknoir in order to win this turn. Which is possible with Thornton. For sure. Nest Ball. He's eyeing up, making sure he's got all the options here. Oh, he's eyeing up the Thornton and the Counter Catcher, I think. So maybe he just has it. He's got a pretty big hand. What's he going to grab on the Nest Ball? Terapagos? Yep, there's the Terapagos. Shuffle up. Has already used Flip the Script, though. I think he's just mapping it out. I think he's got it. Ultra Ball, get rid of Drago and Terapagos. Grab Noctowl. Oh. Counter Catcher. And Thornton. There's Thornton. Get out another Duskull. Great Candy Dusknoir. Boom. Counter Catcher. Bring up that Illumise. And he doesn't even need the DT. He has the Blood Moon. That's a nice, easy... Blood Moon's the, what's called? Terapagos. Takes the 4 prize turn for Tim. Dusknoir, Thornton, and Blood Moon. Very, very deadly combination. And that's our asymmetric cut, which means we are now advancing right up to top 8. Here we go. Fabrizio, Inga, Silva versus Matias, Campos. And I believe we are playing LostBox versus Snorlax. Let's skip to when they were allowed to get started here. Alright, so Fezandipity start for Fabrizio, and a Cornerstone start for Matias. So, Cornerstone, not putting in a ton of work in this matchup, that's for sure. I mean, it can't be really damaged by a whole lot early game, right? It can't be damaged by Spit, can't be damaged by Ninja. But I imagine Fabrizio plays lots of things that can hit it. I guess there isn't too much that can hit it in LostBox, right? It's mostly just Iron Hands, which I imagine you don't want to really have to set up Iron Hands in this matchup as Fabrizio. Fabrizio does play Spiritomb, though, so that's going to be pretty big. It looks like Matias tried to use that Pokestop, thinking that it was in play when actually it was in the Lost Zone from Flower Selecting. Already flipped over the Luxurious Cape, and is now, we now have to deliberate on a ruling here. That is unfortunate. Yeah, I think they're like maybe bickering a little bit, and they're just like, oh, well, I mean, it looks like it's in play, but I mean, that's where the Lost Zone goes, you know, not really much to debate. It's not really deceptive to put the Pokestop that's in the Lost Zone area. I understand that it's close to the stadium spot, but and look, Matias didn't really have anything else there. He just went airy. I don't think he hit anything too important. And then Fabrizio is just going to be able to go for the Chorus and go ahead and get started. 4 cards in the Lost Zone now. Probably not a whole lot else. Let's see a Nest Ball. But, I mean, you don't want to be too aggressive against Snorlax with LostBox. Really, you just play it patiently. Ooh, you see another Airy come down. Gets rid of Lost Vacuum. I'm not sure what else he got rid of there, but opted not to get rid of Gate, so it must have been something pretty solid. I do really favor Snorlax's odds in this matchup. I mean, if he's playing the Rotom build, Spiritomb can definitely be very harsh. But he also has Regieleki, which Regieleki Airy spam in this matchup can be very, very strong. So we are going to see the Iron Hands come down from Fabrizio, just to have a way to deal with this Cornerstone. Start getting it set up. Lightning Energy. Does he have enough cards in the Lost Zone to use Mirage Gate yet? I don't think so. Nope. Matias go for another Airy. He's revealing that Pokegear for some reason. Fabrizio's like, I can definitely see all of the cards that you're Pokegearing for here. Looks like he did not find one of those areas that he pop-outted back in, so just going to go for the Silene. Oh, found some Misfortune Sisters already in hand, though, so able to get rid of Switch Card and maybe a Super Rod. It's kind of hard to see with the video quality here. Yeah, it looks like a Super Rod. Switch Card, Super Rod when it goes down. Nest Ball from Fabrizio. Finds a Sableye. Tia's not doing a whole lot. I mean, that's I guess what you kind of have to expect when you're playing the Rotom build and your opponent plays Spiritomb. Just sort of got to work with what you have. Don't have a lot of ways to draw cards. Looks like that Great Entry can hit the Lost Zone. Not very important in this matchup. Gets the Sableye down. He is going to be pretty important in this matchup. One of his ways to deal with this Cornerstone. And slowly but surely getting that Iron Hand set up. One attachment at a time. I think he's at 6 cards in the Lost Zone now, so next turn, one more Flower Selecting should be able to start using Mirage Gate. It looks like, seeing that the Iron Hand's probably going to be powered up soon, Matias is just going to retreat into, or penny into the Snorlax. Start forcing switch cards out of Fabrizio if he wants to move this Comfy. Yep, so Mirage Gate is going to come down here now. Debating what he wants to do with the Psychic Energy. If he wants to just put it on the Iron Hands, if he wants to save it for Sableye. It looks like he's just going to go right on the Sableye. Oh, nope. He's going to pull it off the Sableye. Because I'm still thinking about it. I think they're saying because he finished shuffling the deck that the Psychic Energy's committed to the Sableye. I guess that's, I mean... That's probably going to go on the Sableye anyways, to be honest. Doesn't really matter. Just going to Arm Press the Snorlax to the knockout. And from here, can just Arm Press every turn and probably just win that way. Counter hit, you're going to bring up the Spiritomb. Now, this is, I don't think, a very good play. I mean, Spiritomb can just fade out itself out of play, which obviously lets you use Rotom, but I mean, you're not wasting your opponent's switching cards that way, which is what you need to do. You're wasting your counter catchers faster than you're wasting their switches by bringing up Spiritomb. Not that Fabrizio, even needs to play a switch card to move right now, because the judge is like, don't reveal your Pokegear. You're leaking. Curious to see what he's going to grab with Arvin here. Counter catcher. Yeah, I mean, these counter catchers aren't really doing much, right? If you're not, Snorlax active. It's going to Hero's Cape the corner. Maybe he doesn't. He might not even have he doesn't have a basic needs grab Nest Ball, right? He has the Regieleki in hand, which I think is what you'd rather use the Hero's Cape with. Counter catcher, you're going to bring up the Cramorant, since that can't hit the Cornerstone anyways. Doesn't want to give Fabrizio access to Flower Selecting. But it should be pretty easy for this Cramorant to get into the active. Switch. Lost Vacuum. Arm Press for the knockout. He didn't even need the Vacuum, right? I mean, Cornerstone has, 310? So it's getting knocked out by 2 Arm Presses either way. Definitely, he had a Regieleki in hand too. Definitely should have benched. I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't really know how to approach the LostBox matchup. Because trying to wall out an Iron Hands with the Cornerstone definitely is not the way. And he did play an Arvin. He could have grabbed another Snorlax or something there to at least force Fabrizio to have the switch instead of just an energy. But I think he should have gone into Regieleki there and just started spamming Airy in his Fortune Sisters with that. Heroes Cape it, and Penny it. We'll see if he adjusts his strategy going into the next game. But right now, the LostBox player is up a game. Mimikyu start for Matias. Not ideal. That's an easy prize for Fabrizio. Doesn't really wall out anything in Fabrizio's deck early game. Can just go down to the Cramorant. He can Bravery Charm it at least. Put it out of Cram range, but Fabrizio playing LostBox, so he's got vacuums for sure. At least he can get some Rotom uses this time. He's going to Hero's Cape the Mimikyu. Definitely not how you want to use your Hero's Cape. I mean, your Hero's Cape is probably going to get vacuumed anyways whenever you do try to use it, but I think ideally you'd want to use Airy the turn that you attach Hero's Cape, just that way you can clear any vacuums out of the hand potentially. You can even try to run your opponent out of vacuums before using Hero's Cape at all. Can definitely be a solid play. Oop. Pokestop finds the Prime Catcher. But not really anything else here for Fabrizio. He only has one card in the Lost Zone, and it's one of his switching cards. Just a Cramorant on the bench. Not that Matias really has much going for him right now either. Just Mimikyu Rotom, not what you want to see. He'd really get a Snorlax active. Does have the Mist Energy on the Mimikyu, so... Ooh, and has the Airy to catch that Prime Catcher right after he sees it off the Pokestop enter Fabrizio's hand. So, much better early game here for Matias. Able to already 3 switching cards down for Fabrizio. Switch card in the Lost Zone, Prime Catcher, another switch card. Just goes ahead and instant charges. Fabrizio finding Palpad off of Pokestop, but I don't think he's used a Colress yet, so that Palpad just sort of risking going down to Iona or an Airy by being in hand, revealed off the Pokestop. Just another pass. Nest Ball for Matias. Can get a Snorlax down. I mean, Fabrizio's already down 4 switching cards, so you definitely want to just throw a Snorlax active and try to run him out of switches. But going for the Cornerstone again. The Cornerstone is not good in this matchup. Just go for Snorlax, play your Aries, play your Misfortune Sisters, and your opponent's probably going to run out of switch cards eventually. And then you can just lock a Comfy in the active. Okay, there, I mean, Hasui and Heavball at least is going to get a Snorlax down. But I don't like benching the Cornerstone here. At least it can't be one-shotted by anything in Fabrizio's deck. It's the saving grace, but you are going to have to find a penny for it at some point. Whereas if you don't bench it, then you don't need to penny it. He could have 2 Snorlaxes down here, which would be ideal for sure. Especially if Fabrizio, I mean, doesn't know for sure if Fabrizio plays like an Iron Bundle or something like that. So having 2 Snorlax to play around Iron Bundle would be very nice. Hopefully he at least retreats this Mimikyu. Temple him up the Pokestop. No, gonna leave the Mimikyu active. So not even gonna force Fabrizio to have a switching card to move the Comfy. Like, I don't think this is the line. This is not like the winning strategy against LostBox when you're playing Snorlax. Mimikyu Cornerstone. The winning strategy is just Snorlax and then running your opponent out of switching cards. Fabrizio, he already hit Prime Catcher switch card, and there's already a switch card and another switch, and now another switch in the Lost Zone for Fabrizio. It looks like he changed his mind on that one. So, running Fabrizio out of switching cards, well, you know, having a bunch of Snorlax in play, it's definitely a winning strategy, but not going for it. Double heads off Silene, though, for Fabrizio. What a tech here. And the Palpad to shuffle the Silene back in. That is really bad for Matias. That's both switching cards in the Squabble going back in, and the Silene also going right back in to potentially find more switches later. And the Spiritomb coming down, so no more instant charges for Matias either. I'm going to Stone for an Airy. Interesting. I don't think that's a very good play. I mean, you know that there's already... I see, you knew there was at least one switch in hand because Fabrizio debated Lost Zoning it. So I guess he just wanted to make sure he got rid of that. There were 3 switch cards in Fabrizio's hand, though. So now Fabrizio sent 2 switch cards right back to the Lost Zone after recovering 2 with Silene. I don't know what Fabrizio's waiting for here. I mean, if you start putting pressure on by using Spit innocently, I mean, Matias would need a boss to bring the Comfy back up right now. Maybe he doesn't have an energy. He just wants to, like, manually retreat the Comfy. He's looking for that. But you want to start putting some pressure down before Matias can discard too many cards with Aries and Misfortune Sisters. You're losing the advantage that you got out of having Silene. Slowly but surely. The Flute finds the Blood Moon. That could be annoying to have him play for Fabrizio later on. Sableye comes down. Gonna make sure you can get that down before too many Flute come down. Play Colress. Lost Zoning. Raikou, I think. And Metafy, yeah. Just a pass back. Fabrizio's waiting for something. Maybe he's just going to try to get 10 in the Lost Zone and then just start using Lost Mine. Matias decides, okay, well, time for me to penny the Rotom. Spiritomb's in play anyways. Get that thing out of here. Gonna play another Colress for Fabrizio, so his Lost Zone's getting pretty big now. Yeah, it looks like he can now Lost Mine, so what he's saving all of these switching cards for. He's just trying to get up to 10, and then he's just going to start Lost Mining now. Puts 6 on Snorlax, 6 on Cornerstone, it looked like. I feel like putting 9 on the Cornerstone makes the most sense, right? Just that way you threaten to Lost Mine it for a knockout if Matias doesn't attach a tool or something to it. Matias just going to penny the Mimikyu to play, attach that Hero's Cape, attach the Mist Energy to Regieleki, and start using Electromagnetic Sonar, which is definitely a very strong attack in this matchup. Sort of infinite resources. Luxurious Cape. Gonna come down on the Snorlax. I don't love that because it is. I guess it's not in hands range, but the Lost Mine can put it in hands range, and then you can just arm press it for 2 prize cards. But I guess it's already in Lost Mine range for 1 prize card right now, so at least if it gets Lost Mine now, we can just penny it. I feel like Luxurious Cape on the Regieleki would be a lot better, though. Handheld Fan on the Regieleki. Gonna penny up that Cornerstone. See, yeah, I mean, he wouldn't have needed to penny up that Cornerstone if he just went for... I feel like Matias would just be an infinitely better spot right now if he never benched that Cornerstone, bench level Snorlax, retreated the Mimikyu right away, and just started blocking. Gonna re-bench the Cornerstone. Didn't he penny it? I guess he just wanted to get that 60 damage off of it. Man, Vacuum getting at the temple. I really don't like. Yeah, I don't really like the way either player playing this very much, to be honest. I think Fabrizio was just building up the Lost Mine, which I think is more fair. I think it was like fine to get to retreat into Cramorant and just start swinging, but because especially since you already have rescue board, you might as well just do 110 instead of using flower sucking for 1 every turn until you got to 10. Because Matias is gonna have to respond to that cram pressure anyways. So you could at least have burned some more resources while you build up your Lost Zone. But on Matias' side, I really don't like that he's like trying to weave this Cornerstone in. Because Iron Hands is already like a pretty solid attacker here, as we can see, regardless of whether or not the Cornerstone is in play. So you're not really like forcing your opponent to use Iron Hands. Fabrizio seems to be more than happy to use Iron Hands either way. He's going to get Amp here to knock out the Regieleki, get 2 prize cards. Cornerstone comes up. Penny's the Snorlax. See with the look, and he's Luxurious Caping the Mimikyu. Yeah, Cornerstone Mimikyu is not the way to beat LostBox. I don't want to be mean, but I just like this is not the route. I feel like Embiid doesn't have quite enough practice with this matchup. The Blood Moon being on the bench definitely helps a lot if this is the line you're going for, because you can just keep bringing it up. But he's going to attach an energy to the Blood Moon, so getting ready to retreat it if he has to, and just try to double arm press this Cornerstone. Should be easy enough to do. We saw 2 pennies get Palpatted back in, but I don't think that Matias has one in hand. He's got an Airy though, so that's good. You can get rid of the Prime Catcher and a Switch. Although Fabrizio's got double Switch. He decides to go for a Prime Catcher Switch card. I think, honestly, there's an argument there that you get rid of the double Switch card there. The Switch card's going to allow Fabrizio to just go back into Iron Hands and arm press the Cornerstone. Whereas if you get rid of double Switch card and Fabrizio's only switching card is Prime Catcher, then that has to bring up Mimikyu, right? It doesn't let him keep the Cornerstone active to be knocked out by arm press. But looks like Matias is going to retreat the Cornerstone anyways. But now the Miss Energy's on and it can be Lost Mind again. You're going to see a manual attach the Blood Moon and just a pass. Not going to use that Switch cart. That's kind of risky, right? Because I mean, at least if you use the Switch cart, you can... or it looks like the Iron Hands, I don't even think it has a second lightning on it. I think it's using Amp. I'm not sure. Maybe it is using... No, it's got to be Arm Press with the number of dice that are on there. So I would have liked to use the Switch card to knock out the Snorlax with Arm Press, just because Matias could have another Airy, right? And then you don't get to use the Switch at all. But it looks like he's just going to... He waits, just manually retreats this Blood Moon. Super Oz these energies back in, and then has the boss on the cornerstone. Gonna get to take, I think, 3 prize cards on this if it has, yeah, I believe, no, it does, with the Hero's Cape, has to go for the arm press and just take 2 prize cards. Didn't have a vacuum to get rid of the Hero's Cape. Anyway, Fabrizio's still got a switch card in hand now. But this is where, you know, Matias could still punish him by areaing that switch card out and then counter-catching the Blood Moon back up. Counter-catch the Blood Moon. Penny. See, but, like, the Mimikyu just doesn't work here, you know? Like, Fabrizio has Cramorant. He has multiple switching cards left. He can still hard retreat the Blood Moon if he really has to. Yeah, and there's the Lost Vacuum. Away the Luxurious Cape. Not going to mimic you that way. I honestly think that was a game that was completely within Matias's right to win. He just did not go for using Snorlax, which is, like, you know, the namesake of the deck. I think that he hit double switch on Airy twice. He hit more switches on Aries as well. The loss of switching cards went to the lost zone with Fire Selectings. I think that Matias definitely could have just ran Fabrizio out of switching cards. We just went with Snorlaxes that game. But that is what it is. That's top 8. We're going to move on to top 4 now. I imagine finals, the whole tournament might even be done by now. Finals might have been wrapped up. We got 2 more games left here. Top 4, we have Isaac Salazar versus Giovanny Sasso. Incredible performance for Giovanny. He came, I believe, 2nd and 1st of the last 2 events in Latin America. So another top 4 is very, very impressive. We'll see. Maybe better. Looks like, I think, Raging Bolt from Isaac. We did see him on stream day 1. And then we saw Giovanny on stream day 1 as well, playing his patented Terapagos. And this is Giovanny's first season as a master, I believe, as well. So this is a crazy streak of events here. 2nd, 1st, and then at least top 4 at this one. So it's 3 in a row. His first year of Masters. Not a player that I think we, talked about a ton as a senior, but proving now that he's in Masters that he's someone to look out for. Looks like Isaac went first, just threw an energy on the active. I think that's a Raging Bolt, right? Is that the yeah, just some glare on it, but it is a Raging Bolt. Whereas Giovanny just had hoot 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 hoot, nothing else in hand on his first turn. And Isaac getting the Bravery Charm and the Ogre Bond, so there's not going to be any way for Giovanny to take a one-shot on these Pokemon except for Lost Vacuum on the Bravery Charm on the Teal Mask. He didn't get any Duskulls down, so that's not going to be an option either. But on the bright side for Giovanny, Isaac did not manage to get a knockout on turn 2, so Giovanny still has an extra turn to get some stuff set up before he needs to take 2 prize knockout. Whoever takes the first 2 prize knockout is going to have the lead here. Or at least takes the first 2 prize cards. Bravery Charm comes down on the active. I don't really like that much, just because Terapagos can't one-shot at 240 anyways. Probably just want to save those Bravery Charms for stuff like Fezandipity or maybe another Ogre Pawn. But Isaac just going to Iono here. Earthen Vessel's Way of Fighting, so presumably has another fighting in hand, or I mean, he's just going to grab another fighting off this vessel. Grabs grass, you can get a Teal Dance off now. Attach the active. Yeah, there's the fighting on the active. There's a ton of Raging Bolt in this tournament, so not surprised at all that one made top 4. Nest Ball. What's he going to find? Terapagos. So let's see. Can Giovanny turn on the pressure now? Can he get maybe a full bench counter catcher, lost vacuum knockout on the Ogerpon? He doesn't even need to knock out get the lost vacuum now. He can lost vacuum at any time. But if he does not lost vacuum it now, then he has to worry about switch cart healing the teal, right? So that would be the issue there. Ultra Ball, gonna get the Pidgeot out. Has the candy from Noctowl. Maybe research in hand. I see a Prime Catcher. Bench the Rotom. Prime Catcher the Ogerpon. Yep, so he's saying I have to hit it. I have to get the knockout here in order to win this game. So I'm just gonna Prime Catcher this Ogerpon up now and go for it. There's the Fez. Flip the script, draw a couple more. DTE. He's got another DTE. Not gonna be helpful. He's eyeing up an Ultra Ball here. Still has Quick Search. Can Ultra Ball for a Noctowl. Does he have the pieces? He needs full bench, area 0. So he needs 3 Pokemon, area 0, and a vacuum. I don't know if I see the pieces in hand. But he can search for 3 cards here, right? He gets Noctowl plus Pidgeot, area 0, and Nest Ball. Duskull. Quick Search. For vacuum, maybe? I see another Pokemon grabbed here. Another Duskull. So maybe he's not going to quite get the knockout here. He's just going to rely on Dusknoir or Dusclops. I don't know if he plays Dusclops, probably not. So he's going to rely on Dusknoir to clean up that knockout later. Yeah, hits for 200, or 190, sorry. So not even enough that he can just vacuum it later. We'll need to finish that off with something like a Dusknoir. Which, in my opinion, puts Isaac in the driver's seat here for sure. If he can take 2 prize cards this turn, that's enough of a lead that should be favored to win this game. Giovanny can still offset things with something like Briar as well, though, right? You can go ahead and Isaac takes 3 prize cards here. Giovanny can go Dusknoir, Briar. I mean, that's not really going to work, though, right? If Isaac takes 2 prize cards right now, goes down to 3, and Giovanny uses Dusknoir to put him down to 2. That way he can Briar and go down to, what, like one prize? Giovanny does not want to use Dusknoir this turn, but I don't really see a great way for him to come back now. Other than just like Iono and hoping that Isaac doesn't have enough energy to knock out something like Blood Moon. But I mean, there's not really any like good targets for Giovanny to even knock out here, right? Like, okay, Isaac goes down to 2 prize cards after that Dusknoir. Giovanni's shaking his head. I think he's seen that he just doesn't really have a lot of options here. I think he'd ideally like to go for another Dusknoir, put Isaac down to 1, Iono into 1, and then Blood Moon for another knockout. And then that puts him in a pretty solid position, but obviously Isaac still has the potential to just have the resources to win. Looks like he's eyeing up just decking with Blustery Wind here for 110. Iono to 2, yeah, so I think that's probably what he's going for. Which, I mean, if he gets Vacuum on the Bravery Charm, he can still finish that Raging Bolt off with a Dusknoir after 110 from a Blustery Wind. So, yeah, Blustery Wind 110. So that's what he's trying to do here. He's going to hope that Isaac does not have the knockout, and the next thing he just goes Rare Candy, Dusknoir, 130 to Raging Bolt, Lost Icon, Bravery Charm, and then Blood Moon, the other Raging Bolt. Sada. Isaac will need to get Teal Dance off here as well, because he has 0 energy in play going into this turn. So he needs Lightning Energy, Ogerpon, Grass Energy in order to win this game. Palpad. Gonna shuffle back in. I don't think the pop out matters too much here. I mean, he will need to take another knockout of some... Or no, he doesn't even need to take another knockout next turn. If he gets the knockout here, he wins. So maybe he just doesn't have it. This might just be a burst roar. Yep, attached to the bench. Yep, burst roar. So Giovanny could win this turn. We could see the comeback from that whiff from Isaac. He just needs Rare Candy, Dust Noir, Lost Vacuum, Blood Moon. Nest Ball can get the Blood Moon. Blood Moon prized, maybe? Blood Moon's prize, I'm not seeing the vision. You know, Iono again. Okay, he is going to Iono again. Looks like Blood Moon. Either Blood Moon is not available or he did not have the Dust Noir Vacuum play. I mean, he does have 4 prize cards left still, right? So, Vacuum could be prized. One of the Dust Noir pieces could be prized. Blood Moon could be prized. Maybe not, though. Noctowl, Rare Candy, Night Stretcher, Dust Noir, Rare Candy, Dust Noir, Quick Search. Snap grab that. I think he's got it. He just needed the card draw from Iono. He didn't have all the pieces yet. Dust Noir, 130. Lost Vacuum. Boom. Draw 2. Ultra Ball. Blood Moon. There it is. Beautiful. 4 prize card turn. Alright. Very well played from Giovanny there. With the blustery win to set up for that play. Making good use of that Vitality Band. Isaac, can you choose to go first this game? I mean, seems fine. I think you'd probably just rather go second to have the better, more consistent start usually. Something being debated here, maybe? Some confusion on the Iono. So I ran a bench to squawk this game could change the dynamic of it a lot. But it looks like Giovanni didn't really have anything. Just nothing before Iono, plays the Iono, all you can do is bench a Blood Moon. Big opening for Isaac for sure. But it looks like Isaac didn't really have anything either. Did we just see attach knockout on Duskull? And Giovanni can be able to get set up now. Hoot Hoot, Duskull, Pidgey. Don't think he's used the script yet. Doesn't look like it. Oh, I'm going to turn it all the way around. Draw a few cards. Now, Giovanny obviously on the back foot here. It does say that Giovanni's the one who's taking a prize card, but that is not correct. Isaac is the one who's taking a prize card. But not too bad for Giovanny here, honestly. I mean, Isaac doesn't really have much of a setup yet. He has the Squawkabilly on bench, which could be an easy way for Giovanny to take some prizes. The Slitherwing also means that, if Giovanny wants to knock that out and then, like, Briar later on, that's always going to be an option. How much HP does Slitherwing have? I believe it is in Dusknoir range, right? 120 or 130. Slitherwing TCG. 140, no, so won't be able to be in Dusknoir range, so that will be a little bit unfortunate for Giovanny if he's trying to go for like a Dusknoir that and then Briar play. Because it's part of what makes Slithering so good against Terapagos. Isaac would really like to set up that Slitherwing here. Looks like he's an Ultra Ball for Luminion. Luminion and Squawkabilly in play now. Lots of easy things for Giovanny to knock out with Terapagos, but shouldn't matter too much with Isaac being able to take a 3-prize lead here. Especially if Isaac is going to be attacking with a single prizer here. Making things even more difficult for Giovanny. Sada, yeah, Fighting Energy to Slitherwing, Fighting Energy to Raging Bolt. I think he was debating. He's going to spread them out. If you're going to spread them out, you should do the Lightning on the other Bolt, not the Fighting. Boom. Fighting comes down. Prime Catcher's the Fez, going to knock that out. Limit Giovanni's draw a little bit. Pokemon Catcher finds a Stretcher and a Nest Ball, discards the Iono, which Iono could certainly be useful. Palpad, gonna get the Sada back. Doesn't care about Iono, I guess. Just gonna shovel some Sadas back in, make sure that he can keep taking big knockouts on whatever he wants to every turn. I didn't see what card he's debating here. Oh, he's just debating back to the Fez to play around Iono. Looks like he's going to go for that. Attack the Slitherwing, knock out Fez. Giovanny bringing up the Pidgey. Hopefully has the Rare Candy Pidgey out in play already. Pokestop discards Iono and double Turbo Energy. With his other Iono already gone. Probably only plays 2, so that could be definitely pretty problematic. But the DT not going to matter quite as much. Night Stretcher, get that Noctowl out. They're messing up with the prize count here. It says Giovanni's at 3 prize cards and Isaac's at 6. It is reversed. Okay, looks like Giovanny. What happened with that Iono? Okay, there it is. He is going to Iono. He does play a 3rd, I guess. Does need Isaac to, miss some knockouts at some point in order for him to make a comeback. So he'd love to counter Catcher and just knock out the Pheasantipity here. But he's going to need a full bench to do so. Noctowl will probably get some there. He's still got Quick Search left as well. But he might need the Quick Search to get DT. Oh, nope. Doesn't have knockout, so just going to scoop it up. So nope, I cannot not afford to take no knockout this turn. So 1-1. Looks like the Slitherwing's there from Isaac. Gotta like to see that. Giovanny, on the other hand, has Hoot Hoot, Hoot Hoot, and Pidgey. Or Hoot Hoot, Pidgey, Fan Rotom. Even better. Can get some Duskulls maybe down with this Poffin and then use the Rotom. Find maybe Hoot Hoot. Oh, nope. Wait, you're gonna have like triple Noctowl here of Rotom? Noctowl, another Rotom, and did he maybe have no Duskull access or just didn't want to bench one? I'm not sure. Make sure he knows exactly what that slithering does. Yeah, I guess he was like, I just want to bench 3 Hoot Hoot and leave a bench spot open. I don't care about putting any Dust Calls down yet. Nest Ball. Isaac would really like to do what he did game 1. Although he did, he won game 2, did not win game 1, but he'd really like to set up the sort of the board that he did game 1, where it does not have has maybe a couple Raging Bolt, Ogerpon, Bravery Charm, maybe a Pheasant Deputy even with a Bravery Charm, and not a lot of easy Pokemon for Giovanny to knock out, like Pheasant Deputy and Luminion. But it looks like we're going to see the Squawk here. The easiest Pokemon to knock out. Giovanny a much better start this game, so that could be a problem for Isaac. Especially considering that he had to bench this Squawkabilly. Or at least is looking to bench the Squawkabilly. Squawk, Ogerpon, Bravery Charm, switch cards into the Bolt. He at least found a Grass Energy. Okay, I think he found a Vessel. I'm going to start a fighting. Vessel for a couple of Grass. Tealance for this turn. Tealance for next turn. I think he maybe was debating Nest Balling for another Ogerpon. Decided against it. I think that's probably better. I think nice easy knockout on the Hoot Hoot. Giovanny really wants to take a 2 prize knockout here. If he takes 2 prize knockout here, he has a huge advantage. Ogerpon comes down. Or, sorry, not Ogerpon. Terapagos. Plays the Noctowl. I think he's probably eyeing up a way to get this Pidgeot set up right now. Rare Candy Featherball, I think, was grabbed. And then just gets the Pidgeot out. Second Noctowl deliberating. Yep. So it's Quick Search as well. Already have the DTE in hand. Only needs 6 bench Pokemon to knock out the Squawk, so just 2 more. Nest Ball gonna grab the Fez. DTE. I see a Poffin, I think. Yep, so you're going to grab a couple Duskulls. And with the double Duskull now, he is threatening to win next turn with double Dusknoir Blood Moon, like we saw one of the Palkia players do against the Raging Bolt yesterday. Just turn 3 win with double Dusknoir into Blood Moon after taking the prize lead. Great way to beat Raging Bolt is any of these Dusknoir Blood Moon decks. But requires a lot of pieces. But we flip the script and potentially... Giovanny really would have liked to get another Hoot Hoot down there. He's debating the Terapagos bench. Honestly, I think he already took his hand off of it. I probably, if I were Isaac, would just be like, let's play it. This is a regional top, or a special event top 4. But looks like he was able to take that back here. Nest Balls for the Hoot Hoot. That could have been a pretty big mistake, honestly. So it's got kind of lucky that either they didn't notice that he took his hand off it already, or they decided it was okay for him to take it back. I mean, it's not like it's tumultuous whether or not he should be allowed to take it back there. I don't think he's trying to do anything shady, but could have gotten punished big time if he didn't bench the Hoot Hoot here. That could have been what cost him if Isaac got like a knockout on the Pidgeot EX here after, and Giovanny didn't have the Hoot Hoot down. But with the Hoot Hoot, and he's got Flip the Script, Noctowl, and Quick Search next turn, can probably get double Dusknoir into Blood Moon. Boss on the Pidgeot. Attach. Just going to take the knock on the Pidgeot. Not going to do much else. Giovanni should probably just bring up the Terapagos with the DTE. I mean, he can always retreat, worst case scenario. But bringing it up means that he has to pivot into Blood Moon. I guess he'd also bring up a Duskull, right, for the same reason. Draws for turn. He's got a pretty big hand. We'll see if he has the pieces to win this turn. Doesn't need a Vacuum, because or an Energy. Because the Raging Bolt doesn't have a Bravery Charm on it. And if he double Dusknoirs, Isaac will be at 1 prize, and Blood Moon will be able to attack for free. Giovanni mapping it out here. Rare Candy Dusknoir. Ultra Ball. I feel like he must not have it. Noctowl. Maybe he does. Noctowl. He's really thinking it through. He's eyeing up Prime Catcher, which I feel like you don't grab if you have the Blood Moon play. I mean, you definitely don't grab it if you have the Blood Moon play. So that maybe just means he's going for a Lost Vacuum knockout with Terapagos. Just debating here. Ooh. Gonna use Dusknoir. 2 prize cards. And then maybe he's gonna Iono to 1. Clearly he doesn't have... He's missing the Blood Moon, right? Otherwise he would have just double Dusknoir the Ogre Pawn. But maybe just flexing. Maybe he has the Prime Catcher and the Blood Moon now. And the Vacuum. Oh, yeah, he already had it. He did not need to do all that. He could have just bench Blood Moon, retreated, and double Dusknoir the Ogre Pawn. But maybe he, he's saying, I think the Blood Moon was prized, and he wanted to leave the option to Prime Catcher the Ogre Pawn, and then, I don't know, Briar Slitherwing? I'm not sure what he was eyeing up there. I think maybe the Blood Moon was prized. And that is why he had to do it the way that he did it. All right. Last game, chat. We have Giovanny Sasso making his 3rd finals appearance in a row. That is insane. Looks like he's up against my friend and teammate who got to watch day 1, Jeremy Gumilla, playing one of my favorite decks, Palkia Dusknoir. This is going to be exciting. Got my good friend Jeremy versus 3-time major event finalist. His very first 3 major events in Masters. He has come finals 3 times in a row, all with Terapagos. Not really making an argument that he is one of the best Terapagos players in the world right now. I'm going to check on Camille. Tied out of cut, unfortunately. That's unfortunate. Oh, Jeremy forgot to whip his notepad out. We're gonna get that Greninja down, concealed. Now, Jeremy winning the coin flip, going to game 1 here, is huge. It is absolutely massive, because Palkia being able to go first in this matchup makes it incredibly favorable. It's already a good match for Palkia, but threatening the turn 2 Moonlight Shuriken means that Jeremy just has a huge advantage. I mean, if Jeremy can get some Duskulls down turn 1, he didn't this game, maybe game 3 when he goes first, if he goes first again, if he wins and then loses, then worst case scenario, get some Duskulls down. You even threaten, like, just completely board wipe your opponent turn 2 that way before they can really do anything. So, Hoot 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 and another Rotom for Giovanny. Or Hoot Hoot Noctowl, another Rotom maybe. Nope, just gonna bench 4 Hoot Hoots here to play around the Moonlight Shuriken. Vessels away the water. 2 more. That means he should pretty much already have the Moonlight Shuriken here. He just needs to get one of these, both these waters in the discard pile. One will go to the retreat. Or he hasn't, I don't think he's used concealed yet, so. That's guaranteed Moonlight Shuriken here. He'd like to get some Duskulls down, though. If I check Twitter, I'm sure I'll already know who won this, so I better refrain until the end of this game. Alright, the Duskulls come down. So now Jeremy is threatening to win next turn already. Double Dusknoir plus a knockout on Terapagos would be game. I wonder if he'll pick off... I think I would like him to pick off the Duskull here, just to take that option away from Giovanny. Nope, gonna go for Hootoots. But that would just make it so that... I mean, I guess if Giovanny Dusknoir is one of Jeremy's Duskulls, then, like, Jeremy won't need that Duskull anyways. Kind of negates the point, since Jeremy would get to take the prize card. But Jeremy is, like, in a very good position to win next turn. And there's really not that much that Giovanny can do about it. Except try to knock out the Pheasantipity to limit Jeremy's draw. Maybe he could go like Dusknoir, the Greninja, Iono, and then knock out the Pheasantipity. And then Jeremy doesn't have the Greninja for draw. He doesn't have the Pheasantipity for draw. But Jeremy would only need to find one Dusknoir at that point. So does it even make it that much harder for Jeremy to win next turn, knocking out the Greninja? Like, if you're making so your opponent needs one less Rare Candy Dusknoir. Looks like Rare Candy, Area 0 found here, so Giovanny is going to get that Dusknoir out. Nest Ball. Get a second Terapagos out. Stretcher for the Hoot Hoot. Play the Boffin. Got another Duskull. That way Giovanny can threaten game himself next turn. And then just research. Would really like to find DT Prime Catcher. So they can knock out that Pheasantipity. Or DT Switch Counter Catcher. But I don't think he's got it. And if he doesn't take a knockout this turn, he's in a very bad spot. Looks like he was even considering using the Dusknoir, maybe just to take a prize. And hope that maybe he finds what he needs off the prizes. Okay, but he's going to knock Towel for Energy Lotto and Switch. So he probably has the Counter Catcher. I hope he has the Counter Catcher. For his sake. Energy Lotto. DTE. Dusknoir, knock at the Greninja. Jeremy's probably just going to make up the Duskull, as he should. Switch the Terapagos. DTE. Does he have the Counter Catcher? No, so just going down to 4 prize cards. I mean, if Jeremy doesn't win this turn, there is potential for Giovanny to still win this, but right now, all Jeremy needs is Blood Moon and Energy. Or no, he can't do it with Blood Moon. Jeremy cannot win this turn now, with the Duskull going down. Maybe it actually would have been better for Jeremy to just bring up like the PalkNoir or something. Jeremy can no longer win this turn. Since Giovanny only took 2 prize cards. Jeremy cannot make it so that he is able to attack the Blood Moon now. Whereas if Giovanny knocked out Pheasantipity, then Jeremy would have game here with Blood Moon. TSS win. I don't know if who wins yet, so don't say PJ if Jeremy won or not. No spoilers. But I do think it'll probably be a TSS win here. Just gonna turn my camera off while Aster feeds the baby. Yeah, Saturn knows. I hope that's not... I mean, Saturn was crying, so I hope that doesn't mean Jeremy is gonna lose. We'll see. In theory, Giovanny could win this turn. I didn't see if he played a sport yet while I was handing the baby off. But Briar, Dusknoir... Well, Dusknoir first, and then... Sorry, Briar first, and then play Dusknoir. Bring up the Pheasantipity. Take the 3... Or it doesn't even need the Briar, actually, right? Just needs... Counter Catcher on Fez, but does not have it. He just has to swing into the Palkia for a 2-shot, which means Jeremy should... All Jeremy needs is an energy, right? Oh, it doesn't have it yet. He has a restart still. Iono. Draw 2. Restart for 1. Does not have it. Pokestop. 1, 2, 3. No Night Stretcher. No Earthen Vessel. Oh, man. Ultra Ball. Just going to thin the deck. Grab Dusclops. Jeez. What a whiff. Now, Giovanny almost certainly has it here now, right? I mean, he might still not have it. Nest Ball. Blood Moon. Yep, there it is. Wow. That could not get a second energy onto that Palkia to win the game. That's crazy. So Giovanny going to be able to take game 1 here. All right, well, let's get into game 2. Jeremy can go first. Well, that does mean that even if Jeremy wins this, he's going to have to go second in game 3, which you definitely want to go first in this matchup. Trekking Shoes, discards Night Stretcher. Okay, Duskull, Palkia, already has Ninja active, but no water energy yet. Not again. Jeremy not finding these waters. I don't think he got an attachment for turn 1 last game either. Or turn 1 concealed cards. So this is pretty rough. Maybe Giovanni's just destined for it. This is his 3rd finals in a row. Well, we'll see. He's got a solid start. He's got the Rotom. Gonna grab another Hoot Hoot, Pidgey, Noctowl. Off to the races. I'm sure Jeremy has at least a supporter card for next turn. So, okay, only 2 Hoot Hoot this time, not the 4 like last time. Top decks the Earthen Vessel. A turn too late, but not going to complain. He needs water energy one way or another. Just prize checking. This is his first deck search, I think. Yeah, it definitely is. Okay, we see concealed. Palkia comes down. Has another energy in hand, but needs 1 more energy in the discard pile for Star Portal here. Another Vessel would go a long way. Sorting it out here. Ultra Ball. Okay, there's another water in the discard pile. Does he have another in hand? Probably. I don't think so, right? Because he had he top decked the Vessel, I think. Ultra Ball from you. Switch, restart, draw 1. Star Portal, attach. Okay, here we go. Moonlight Shuriken. Knock out both of those. Oh, not going to knock out double Hoot. You're going to knock out the Pidgey. I guess, like, forces Giovanny to find Terapagos instead of just Rare Candy Pidgeot. But, I don't know. I usually like just knocking out double Hoot here. But I guess 1 Noctowl maybe doesn't get Giovanny in the game. Whereas 1 Pidgeot does. Giovanni's got the Nest Ball. Deliberating here. Either Terapagos to activate Noctowl. Yeah, Giovanny already has the had the Noctowl in hand from Rotom, right? So I really would have liked to see the double Hoot Hoot go down, I think, instead of knocking out the Pidgey. I feel like that's kind of greedy. Like, your opponent probably won't have just natural Rare Candy Pidgey out in hand right away, right? I mean, I guess it's not that crazy. Poff and switch. Here we go. Counter catches up the Palkia. Second time in a row that Jeremy has had to leave himself with no energy after the Star Portal. And this time he doesn't have enough Duskulls to bail himself out and let him attack with Blood Moon. So. Oh, but no attachment for Giovanny, which is very good for Jeremy. Rare Candy Dusknoir. Man, this Palkia Dusknoir would be so insane if Melanie was still in format. Be like unstoppable BDIF level. Gonna Prime Catcher up Duskull. Interesting. Restart for 2. I guess that forces Giovanny to... Giovanny did play a switch already, I believe, so... Force him to use Prime Catcher in order if he wants to attack with Terapagos next turn. Gonna get another Dusknoir down. Or another Duskull down, I mean. I do like using the Dusknoir and knock out the Hoot Hoot there. Just limit Giovanni's options for draw, and then just retreats to Ninja to have the one prizer active. Now Giovanni does have the Prime Catcher in hand though. Does he have... But he didn't have DT last turn, and now he doesn't have Noctowl to try to Energy Lotto. Okay, but he just has the Energy Lotto in hand. Finds the DTE right away. DT goes down with Terapagos. Night Stretcher out the Pidgey. Does he have more basic Pokemon to get the knockout on this Mew? Right now he's doing 130. He's 2 more Pokemon. There's the Terapagos. Prime Catcher on the Mew. Iono. Oh, okay, so he doesn't yet. He's got to hit another Pokemon off the Iono. Hasn't played anything down yet. I don't... Looks like I'm going to have to bench Blood Moon. Oh, just retreat to Duskull. Did he not have enough there? He did have enough to knock out, but I guess he just figured Dusknoir Palkia's game, so... Didn't want to knock out the Mew. Attach the Palkia, concealed cards. Debating using the restart first, maybe, because I think he could have drawn 1 off restart. Pokestop. Restart for 1 now before we use Pokestop, maybe. Nope, Pokestop first. Rare Candy, Night Stretcher, Nest Ball. For another Duskull. He needs Prime Catcher to win. But doesn't necessarily have to win this turn. Discards the Ultra Ball. Night Stretcher for Dusknoir. Rare Candy Dusk. Knock out the Pidgey. Giovanni's just going to scoop it up. With the Pidgey knocked out. Doesn't have a good enough hand to respond. Minded Melody, thank you for the raid. We are going into Game 3 of Special Event Buenos Aires Finals. My teammate Jeremy Gumilla just took Game 2 against now 3-time major event finalist in his first year of Masters. 3 in a row, Giovanny Sasso, all with this Terapagos build. So, quite the match we got going here. Giovanny was able to pull out a crazy game 1 after Jeremy missed energy attachment for game. And Jeremy, on the other hand, able to pretty convincingly take out that game 2 just by using Moonlight Shuriken and Dusknoirs to pick off all of Giovanni's support Pokemon, limit his draw. Giovanny with some key attacks because of that. First Palkia event win, we'll see. Could be, it's a pretty favorable matchup for Palkia, but Giovanny does get to go first going into game 3, which probably puts him at a slight edge since Jeremy doesn't have to worry about the turn 2 Moonlight Shuriken knocking out double Hoothoot like happened last game. And Giovanny is on a tear. This is his first season Masters. He's played in 3 events and he's come finals at all of them. Anyway, you see his hand. I imagine this Ultra is probably just going to grab Rotom. Yeah, going to grab Hoothoot, Pidgey, Noctowl. Pretty standard. Turn 1 Rotom for Terapagos. Puts him in a good position to have a good turn 2. Jeremy opens the Palkia. I mean, not ideal because I can get like turn 2 knocked out by Terapagos pretty easily. Really rather start a 1-prizer, but if Giovanny misses a beat and can't get the knock-in on that, then that saves Jeremy from going down a prize at least. Jeremy gonna grab the waters with Vessel. First time he's gotten an energy turn 1 this set. Has the Ultra Ball to keep drawing some more cards. Just gonna grab the Squawk. Doesn't have quite everything that he wants in hand yet, so you're just gonna go for a fresh one. Probably attach the active here. Oh, switch. Nice. It's even got the... Just going to attach to the Squawk and go for a Motivate play this turn. Most energy he's had in play all game. Checking shoes. Finds the Greninja off the shoes. That's very nice. Debating here. Okay, he's got an Iono. It's always nice to Iono against the deck with Rotom turn 2 after they use Fan Call for Noctowl. Nice, and Jeremy's able to get 2 Duskulls off that Iono. So pretty ideal turn 1 going second. Gonna Motivate, get 2 Water Energy onto the board. Just gonna put them both on Greninja, makes sense. That way, even if the Palkia gets knocked out, he's still threatening to use Moonlight Shuriken next turn. Nest Ball finds the Terapagos for Giovanny, so that will activate Noctowl. Gets him online. DT is Terapagos. Iono comes down. Alright, this big draw for Giovanny. Does he find Noctowls? He needs a way to the active here. Okay, there's the Noctowl. He has got a Hoothoot. I think he should definitely be able to knock out this turn. Take the prize lead. Probably get the Pidgeot out right now as well. Yeah, I see he's eyeing up the rare candy. Rare candy area 0. Has the Feather Ball in hand to get the Pidgeot. Bench the Hoothoot, Terapagos, Quick Search. Probably finds the Switch. Oh, it looks like he's going to go for another Noctowl. Maybe even Prime Catcher. Yeah, it looks like I think he's eyeing up Noctowl and is going to grab Poffin, Catcher, Poffin for a couple Duskulls, Prime Catcher up that Palkia. And it's a pretty sketchy spot for Jeremy, especially with the Quick Search online, meaning that Giovanny will have access to whatever he needs next turn. But Jeremy can just bring up this Greninja and go for a Moonlight Shuriken on these Duskulls is, I think, the line to make sure that Giovanny cannot win next turn. Balls one of these Duskulls into Dusclops. Attach for turn to the Greninja. Bench a new Palkia so that he has an attacker for next turn. Irida. for Palkia, V-Star, and Counter Catcher. Okay, so he's going to try to... What is he going to Counter Catcher up here? Maybe bring up, like, Noctowl and force Giovanny to find Switch. But, I mean, Giovanny already has the Pidgeot in play, so that's not going to be our problem. Night Stretcher for another Palkia. Jeremy's going to have to rely on Giovanny hopefully missing a beat here and missing a knockout. He's going to Counter Catcher up Noctowl and then Lost Vacuum the Area 0. Force Giovanny to discard 3 of these. Obviously, the Noctowl and the Rotom are pretty easy discards, I think. Hoot. Okay. That's very interesting. I think this is actually kind of a punish here, right? From Jeremy. If we... I just want to pause it for a second. Because if Jeremy brought out the other Noctowl, then he could have used Moonlight Shark and knocked out this Noctowl with the damage on it. What does this Noctowl have damage on it from? Is it supposed to have damage on it? Oh, yeah, from Motivate. So then he could have taken a 2-price turn here still, right? And he's going to, but now the Giovanny gets to bring out the Pidgeot with free retreat. Whereas if he brought out the other Noctowl on the Counter Catcher, then that would not have been an option for Giovanny. So that, I think, is a pretty big misplay. That could even cost Jeremy the game, depending on, it probably won't matter. Giovanny probably would have had a way out of the active anyways. But Giovanny needs one less card now. He doesn't need to find a switch. Giovanny really thinking here, has not used his Flip the Script yet. He's going to play the Iono first. Really just wants to find a Gust, but I mean, sure he already has it on the Quick Search. He can't Counter Catcher. Has to be the Prime Catcher, and he still needs Area 0 and more bench Pokemon. Flip the Script. Quick Search. What's he going to grab here? Does he have... But he has no Noctowl access, because this Hoot just came down this turn. He needs Area 0. 2 more bench Pokemon? And then... No, just 1 more bench Pokemon. And Prime Catcher. And I don't know if he has any of the pieces in hand yet. But Quick Search. Treat Terapagos. Oh, no, just knocking the Greninja. He doesn't have any of the pieces yet. So Jeremy could win this turn. Dusknoir, Blood Moon is game. Let's see, this is huge. That was a huge miss from Giovanny because of him not having any Noctowls or anything like that in play. Well, no Hoot, sorry. Going into the turn. Flip the Script and Quick Search, and Iono could not get him there. Nest Ball, gonna get the Blood Moon probably. Oh no, gonna grab the Fez. Draw some cards. I guess his hand's not quite there yet. It looks like he only has like 1 card in hand. I guess he did get Iono'd. So he should have, 3 cards in hand? I should have 4 cards in hand now. Flip the Script. 1, 2, 3. Can he find it? Double Dusknoir into Blood Moon. Or Palkia V-Star. Doesn't necessarily need to be Blood Moon either. Ultra Ball for the Dusknoir. Rare Candy, Dusknoir. Gonna use it. Knock out the Hoot. Nope, 130 on the Fez. Maybe he just already has it. Night Stretcher. Boom, knock out the Fez. Nest Ball. Blood Moon, Retreat. And that's it. Jeremy Gumilla is the Special Event Buenos Aires champion. Hashtag TSS win. Let's go. Congrats to Jeremy. I'm glad I came on and watched the day 2 stream today. Got to see a teammate win. Thank everyone who came to watch. Go congratulate Jeremy on Twitter. I'm sure he's already posted that he won. Go comment on his Twitter post. Thank you everyone for watching. I'm going to wrap up tonight then. Yeah, we got a nice wave from Jeremy on the stream. All right. Have a good night, everyone.